Okay, we're going to do a little 3-minute tutorial on masking fluid. So to start out with, I have a little bottle of PBO drawing gum, and I am going to open it up. And before I do that, some of these bottles say shake before you pour it out. Do not shake this stuff. It will begin thickening, and you don't want that. So gently turn the bottle a couple of times, open it up, and pour a little bit of masking fluid into another container. Why? Because every time you open the masking fluid, or drawing gum as they call it, you are exposing it to oxygen and thereby drying it out. So you want to reseal it, and there you go. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to do, and there are lots of ways of putting masking fluid on your paper. And some people really like using a brush, and they put some soap on the tip of their brush, and they use their masking fluid, and then they wash the hairs of their brush really carefully afterwards. But I've ruined a lot of brushes that way, and I don't like to do that. So I use the technique that I learned from Soon Warren, and that's what I'm going to pass on to you today. You can use a tip of some kind. This has a little silicone tip that's flexible. You can put the masking fluid on that way, or you can put it on with the tip, the wrong side, of your brush. So I'm going to start out actually doing that, since that's actually the way that Soon did it. She uses a brush. And she said, she always is able to make it work for her. And the places that I am masking for this painting are the places that are the lightest in color. And this is after I did my yellow wash, as you can see. And I sent that out to everybody. So what I'm doing is both looking at my drawing, and I'm looking back at my photo, which is right above me. And I'm just putting the masking fluid where I feel like it is needed. Any place where I have a bright yellow area, even if I'm going to come back and do a little bit more to it, I want to block that area out. And you'll see why when I'm painting tomorrow. I'm even thinking that it would be a good idea to put the whole wash on here today, just because it's going to be a lot for tomorrow. But we'll see. Okay, so in this window area, it's just a few little places that are lighter in looking at my photo, and then the rest is going to go actually darker, so I don't have to worry about that. There is one little window right there, so I'll go ahead and pop my masking fluid in. going to be a lot of interesting painting on this tomorrow, but right now I'm just masking my whitest or lightest areas. And there is no really true white. I know that it looks really white in this area right here in the water. But once you start surrounding that with more yellow, it's actually going to be, this light yellow is going to look white. Trust me, because the yellow around that is really, really quite goldeny yellow. So that's about it for that. Maybe I can go a little bit down there, and might as well just cover that. I can come in and paint the other areas. I know there's a kind of a light spot there. And this actually goes into some light here. And I'll be painting all of this other area when I take the masking fluid off. So I'm really just wanting to cover areas that are going to remain really the lightest light. And then I'm going to go through this whole area with a deeper wash. So it's going to be really fun. It's not as scary as it looks. So don't worry. We're going to have a lot of fun tomorrow. I'm just trying to follow some of my little lights from my photo. So you can see how easy it is to actually use just the tip of a paintbrush. And I got my other tool out to use, but I'm not even going to use it. So that should point out to everybody that you're fine without having anything else. Okay, so now I'm trying not to get lost in my photo of where I need these lights. So actually right there, I need it to go right across. So actually anything that's more golden, I shouldn't hit with the gouache, because then I'm going to have to, I would be making more work for myself. So in other words, let me just show you all of the areas that are very lightest here. These are the areas I'm trying to mask. So wherever I see really, really pale, I'm masking. And I don't worry too much whether it's perfect or anything. This is a photo that I can certainly take liberties with. Just looking for other areas that right now need a dot. And I think I need one right about there. And I need one just below the flag. And that should about do it. There's a little bit over here, but it's actually going to be darker. So, put a little dot there too. And put a couple of lines through here. And whatever isn't just right will be fixed when we go back into this to paint more. I'm going to put a little bit here too, and a couple of dots. Having a few dots here and there is a really good idea. So now I'm playing. This is, you know, just having fun with this image. And maybe a couple more here. Even these little spots will show up. And let me make sure I have all of these areas. And there's always ways to get back a little light area as well. So I'm not, you know, really too worried. Please don't freak out about this. And I think that's good enough. I've got all of the major areas, so that when we start tomorrow, I will be able to paint down with the blue. Oh, this was important. I almost forgot the most important part. I'm going to have to put water and paint around these tomorrow. And probably the easiest way, I'm just going to go ahead and use my little tool here. It'll be a little bit quicker. This is the little silicone tool, and I can go right through here. Getting all of the white areas. Oops. I think I've done all of them, so that's okay. I'm just going to go through the whole thing. And then I'll be able to put all the darks and the midtones in here. Note that I'm saying midtones because there's very little that is really, well, you have one little part that's actually white, and the rest of it's going to be tones of kind of a blue-gray. I'm going to just come around on this, though, getting all of this covered, and that's a good idea. And I can kind of get these edges nicely painted too. You have to work fairly quickly with the masking fluid because as you work, it's drying. So that's why you pour it into something else. It really is that important. And I'm going to paint right over to that area here. Then I won't have to worry about that. So that when I start tomorrow, I can pretty much come down and have at this. I am going to cover this little building here, because then I won't have to worry about that edge. It's a light edge. And that's about it. I think I've got it. A little bit more here. Make sure I get these covered. And I thought this would be the easiest way to explain. I'm just going to cover that whole edge, and then I can come back and do whatever I want. There's a lot of light. You know, this is a great idea. You having a problem? Okay. It's a great idea to do this because I think it'll make it a lot easier in explanation. And I'm only telling one way to approach this. So I hope that that works pretty well. Okay, that's it. We're going